So my name's Nigel Douglas. I'm the CEO of OMD. I've been here for this is my third year now, and I've got 30 years experience, which means that I started in '89 and I was fresh out of school back in those days. Yeah, I was kind of destined to be an accountant, lost some interest in that at school, had a friend that worked at the Herald, got an opportunity to join as what was then called a cadet, and they put me through AUT, it was in AIT, so I kind of thought that I was getting the best of both worlds. I was starting work and I was doing my kind of tech course at the same time, and then I subsequently did a master's degree as well. But probably the story that I want to tell here to people considering advertising and media as a career option is that, you know, like media in particular, I stumbled into it. It was quite serendipitous because I was pretty good with numbers, but I quite like people as well, so hence I'm not an accountant. One of the great things that happened to me when I was quite young, like pre-20 I think, is that the Herald at the time put me through a personal development course and taught me about goal setting and stuff like that. And I decided at the time that I would work in the three main media at the time, complete my degrees, start up an advertising agency and flog it back to a multinational. So I worked for the Herald for 5 years. I got an opportunity to work in radio at what is now NZ Meet, RN, for a couple of years, and I worked at TVNZ for a few. I used that opportunity to springboard into agencies. I started one, I merged and acquired through a few sort of like agencies over a period of time to get to what became MediaCom, and then literally we sold it back in 2015 to the holding company. Then I landed at OMD. And the reason why I tell that story as quickly as I possibly can for the sake of this video is because I hope that it's kind of a mildly interesting and vaguely inspiring kind of story for people that are starting out, that, you know, these things can be achieved from, you know, a very fresh-faced 17-year-old actual kid that knew absolutely nothing to the point when I set these goals and ultimately achieving them. So hopefully you find some inspiration in that, because if I can do it, I'm sure that some of you can too. Yeah, so I'm presenting the history module. I think it's kind of important because in order to go forward, we kind of need to be able to look back and learn from some of those examples and situations that we've previously experienced. To be able to progress forward. I think it's also kind of interesting. I was in a meeting the other day and we were talking about the TV market at the moment, and NZ On Air came up and they asked about the development of NZ On Air and the abandonment of the TV licence, which everybody that is considering the foundations will have no concept of because they weren't born, and I was. And so I was actually literally the only person in the room that was able to be able to draw on that genuine history firsthand and talk about that. So being able to share those sorts of things from a firsthand perspective, you know, it's kind of useful and puts context in and around where we are now and how we got there, so we can figure out how we might move forward. To be honest, I wasn't inspired at all. I think I was a ringer. One year that Hutch was swanning around in Europe or something, and I think I was literally just the next oldest guy, by a long way, I might add. And I think I got roped in to cover for him, and then I haven't been able to get out of it, to be honest. But it was obviously, you know, an opportunity that I jumped at. Although it is quite disturbing to know that I am now one of the, you know, oldest people in the industry that can actually recount some of those historical perspectives firsthand. So yeah, that's how I got into it. Look, I mean, it's advertising. You know, it's inherently exciting. I think one of the things that I love the most, bear in mind, you know, I'm in media, so I'll put a media lens on it, but advertising as a whole, you know, we create influence. The joke is always made about not saving babies, but occasionally we do. I've been involved in a campaign where there was babies being saved. You know, whether it's something altruistic like that, where we can create social influence, or whether it's something massively commercial, I always talk about us being essentially the cogs of consumerism. People buy stuff, it creates jobs, which create lifestyle. Literally, that's kind of the philosophy of business and economy, right? So certainly one of those cogs is an advertising cog, and part of that cog is kind of the media world. I get quite jazzed up about that, as you can kind of tell. In the way that I look at it through my lens of our contribution. And bear in mind as well that we work across a number of different clients on a daily basis, different people. We're working with marketers, media partners, creative agencies, PR, etc., social, digital, you name it. So we're massively engaged with a large number of quite very interesting people. If you want to go to dinner, do you want to sit with the lawyer, the accountant, or the egg guy? At OMD, we're the biggest media agency in New Zealand, and we hire the most grads, and we hire a lot of grads, and we invest in people. It's a services business, people are our business. We are looking for the best talent, and one of the first places we go to is the Foundations course. Or certainly we go to the Comms Council graduate program, and we put all of our people through the Foundations course because it's a really good, solid grounding. There's no such thing as learning about media in particular. Specifically at university, it's a paper and a degree program. And this is a nice way of adding some very industry-specific learning across the board to lay a foundation, for want of a better term, to their kind of careers and stuff. And we find it, super useful. It's quite good for them to get connected up through the industry from the get-go as well. So it's very well run. There's a lot of IP in the bank over a number of years that the team has widely collected. So yeah, I would recommend it. Get amongst it.